A few days ago, I went on the most beautiful run I've ever been in my entire life. It was raining a few minutes before, and then the sun came out. So I decided to put on my boots, go outside and go for a run. And then, I think for the first time in my life, as I ran, I was able to smell the grass. I was able to smell the fresh grass. I was literally able to smell dirt. I smelled dirt in the air, and it felt so beautiful and so good. As I ran, I saw birds fly across over me. I heard birds singing around me, and nature felt happy. It was weird. As I ran, I came across this little pond that rain created, and in it was a little duck family. It was such a nice scene. It was such a beautiful scene, and it was just such a small thing, but it gave me such a big smile. The run was so magical because I was fully able to enjoy the beauty of nature and the beauty of the surrounding. Just thinking back brings a big smile on my face. But truth be told, a few years ago, to be more exact, I think around 1.5 years ago, I wouldn't be able to enjoy this run. If I went on a run 1.5 years ago, on the same run, it would felt like a normal run. I wouldn't be able to smell nature, smell the grass. I wouldn't be able to smell dirt. I wouldn't be able to appreciate the birds, the singing of the birds, the dog family. I wouldn't be able to appreciate that. The reason was because my mental health was fucked, because I spent around 8 hours each day on my phone, with most of it being TikTok and Reels. On top of that, my life felt meaningless and sad, because I knew I could do more. I knew I could achieve more with my life. I knew I was smart enough to do more. I knew I had this inner desire in me to do more. But I was just unable to do so. But then, with trial and error, with lots of failing, I was able to stop scrolling, reduce my screen time, and with that, I have lots of free time. So, who am I? My name is Marco. Like I said, I went from having a screen time of 9 to 11 hours each day, with most of it being scrolling on Insta, TikTok, Shorts or binge watching YouTube, to now having a screen time of under 2 hours most of the time, or even lower. With that, I have lots of free time, and I filled that free time with productive stuff. I improved my body, then I fixed my health, my physical and my mental health, and went from looking like this to looking like this. In my opinion, a pretty big improvement. Then I rediscovered nature and was finally able to enjoy small things. And then I climbed the highest mountain in Oman. And lots more. I created 2 YouTube channels, this one and one in Spanish. I read around 70 books in German, French and English. I fixed my sleep score, or my sleep in general. I traveled Europe and Asia. I learned how to play the piano, and I ran my first competitive 10K, and I'm training for a marathon. All of that I was able to do thanks to my 5 pillars of quitting that helped me tremendously in stopping scrolling, reducing my screen time, and most important, filling my time with productive stuff and fixing my focus so I was able to enjoy the small things in life. So in today's video I will talk about how you can also enjoy the small things in life, such as nature and its beauty. So I think the first time I was able to appreciate nature and its beauty and small things was 1 year ago. I was walking down a street, and on my left I had this beautiful mountain range. On my right was forest. And as I stood there, I looked at those mountains, and for the first time in my life, I really was able to look at them, It was weird. I was just able to see them more clearly in a way, or I was able to experience that beauty of that magnificent mountain range. And it gave such a big smile on my face because I was able to see the mountains for the first time in life, for one of my first times in life. I think for the last few years, let's say 7 to 10 years, I wasn't able to really see those mountains or the beauty of those mountains. It was weird, but then and there I was able to focus on it, and it gave such a happiness boost. And since that day, most of the time I was able, or I'm able to appreciate those things, appreciate small things. And those small things will compound to a good day. A boring day could create with lots of those small things, and if you appreciate it, and if you really enjoy them, could make a great day. So what do I mean by those little moments? Those little moments could be enjoying the small things like seeing a random cat and then trying to lure the cat to you so you can pet it, or it just ignores you. But still, now when I see a random cat or a dog, I have a smile on my face because I appreciate those things. Because maybe I can pet the dog, or maybe I can pet the cat, or it just ignores me, but still, it gives me joy. Or seeing a wild animal. It doesn't need to be a deer. It could be just a fucking bird. But just appreciating those little things. If you're able to appreciate those small things, like seeing a bird or seeing a wild animal, if you compound this through your whole day, you will have such a good day, even though your day could be boring. But those little small things will compound to a good day. More examples are like drinking a really nice cup of tea when it's cold outside, or when you had a stressful day, drinking a hot coffee, but being fully able to experience that thing, or being fully able to experience a nice meal. Not just eating and watching on your phone, no, just being fully able to experience that meal. Or reading an interesting book, being fully able to read that book, to inhale basically that story and be almost in that story itself. Those small things, those small moments bring me so much joy and can make the day feel completely different, just because those little small things compound to great things. So how can you also experience that? First, you need to switch your mental image. What I mean by that is 3-step, as you see on this page. You need to go from ignoring to appreciating. Right now, you most likely are ignoring all of those small things. You're ignoring the chance to experience those small moments. And those small moments you create yourself in your head. Those small moments could be literally just drinking a nice cup of whatever you like to drink, or enjoying a nice meal of whatever you like to eat, or seeing a cat. But you are ignoring those things. You are just living your life on autopilot without even noticing them, because you most likely spend or watch or look at your phone while you drink that nice cup of tea or coffee, or eat while you are on your phone, or walk down the street but you look on your phone. So you aren't able to appreciate it. So you need to switch it. You need to go from ignoring that to seeking those things out, to appreciating those things. If you see the chance to enjoy the small things, then take the chance. If you see a cat outside, then try to pet it, or try to do something. You need to look out for those small moments, and you will find them everywhere. Now, the next thing is from big to small. What I mean by that is most people just enjoy the big things in life. Myself included. I like the big things in life. I like when I go on holidays. I like when I go on big adventures. I like when I do very exciting stuff. But truth be told, you can't always live an exciting life. For most of you, the day-to-day is boring and dull. But now, if you look at those small things, if you can also experience small things, then you will be able to fully appreciate also those boring life. Like I said, you could have a boring and dull day, but it could feel special. It could go from a boring and dull day to a special, unique day because you experience those small things. You enjoy those small things. How do you do that? How can you actually experience those small things? With 3 steps. First, you need to stop bad habits, then find your direction, and then experience it. Of course, I will go over each step more clearly. So, stopping bad habits. Right now, your day is fully with bad habits such as scrolling, high screen time, but also watching porn or binge watching or binge eating or doing drugs. Right now I'm focusing more on scrolling and screen time, but you can also apply this to other stuff. So you need to stop those bad habits. And how or why do you need to stop them? Simply because right now those habits cluster your mind. Those habits numb your mind. And you aren't able to focusing on anything except those things. Because truth be told, most of you are, as soon as you're bored, as soon as 1 second of boredom occurs, you grab your phone. You go into an elevator, you grab your phone because you don't want to be in silence with strangers. You walk down the street and it's something is boring. You grab your phone and look at messages, or you just look at different apps. You open Insta, close it again. You open WhatsApp, close it again. You open Snapchat, close it again. Just so you don't be bored or be in the moment. On top of that, many of you also numb something. They have bad emotions because you feel bad. You had a breakup, you had a bad day. So you numb your feelings, you numb your pain with being on your fucking phone. You go on your phone so you don't need to face your fears. You don't need to face your emotions. So you need to stop that. You need to cut scrolling and screen time out or reduce your screen time. With that, you're finally able to experience life, to face life. Because if you numb your life constantly, if you aren't able to be bored, you will never be able to enjoy those small things in life. And I tell you one thing, I rather be bored and enjoy the small things than be on TikTok and scroll, because those things don't give you joy. Those things don't give you happiness. They give you mental illness, they give you mental health problems, and they give you fucking depression. And on top of that, those apps make a fuck ton of money out of you and your life deteriorates. So, how can you stop those bad habits? Simple. I give you a quick overview how you can stop those bad habits. First, you need to switch your mindset. You need to go from a mindset that convinced you to scroll, convinced you to do bad habits, and it convinced you to do it over and over again, to now a mindset that is more beneficial. And I created a better mindset, the less scroll mindset. If you want to know more about the less scroll mindset, you can find a video on that topic. Then, after you fix your mindset, you need to ask yourself one question. And this question is your foundation to stopping every bad habit. You can literally use that question for every habit you want to stop. And this question is why? Why do you want to stop scrolling, stop porn, stop whatever you want to stop? And the other question is why you want to continue to do that habit or that bad habit. You need to ask yourself this or those two questions, and then write the answers of each of those questions down. Now, in your head, you must imagine a scale. On one side, there is the answer for why you want to continue to do the bad habits, and on the other side, why you want to stop doing that habit. Now, if your answer for continuing is stronger, then you will never be able to stop the bad habits, because always something inside of you will stop you from actually achieving that. something inside you will basically drag you down. So you need to make your answer why you want to stop stronger. And you do this by stacking multiple answers on top of that and making deep answers. So your reason for stopping is heavier and it tips the scale in your favor. Now then you also need to actually stop scrolling with different strategies and fill your free time then with productive habits. If you want to have a more guided way, then either watch a different video of mine or click the first link in the description to have a guided way how you can do all of those things I talked about. Next thing is find your direction. Basically, you need to find your direction in life because most of you are just wandering aimlessly in your life. And I give you a good example. You're basically standing in the forest, and the forest is a metaphor for your life. You don't know in which direction you want to go, so you wander aimlessly in that forest. On top of that, the forest is covered with mist. It's covered with fog, so you can't see shit. So you wander aimlessly in that forest. But now, if you find your direction, the fog and the mist will go away, so you have a clear view of the forest. And then with a more specific direction, you will see a light at the end of the forest. And you can strive for that end. So you can navigate through the forest and find the way out. And this is the same for life. Right now you're wandering aimlessly in life with no direction, with not really knowing where you want to go. With that direction, you have a clear goal at the horizon. You can strive for, you put all your energy towards that. So we'll talk about that. The first thing is purpose. Purpose is basically this overarching goal in your life. The goal you want to strive for, you want to achieve with your life. Mostly it's related to work. Basically, you want to be the best shipbuilder in the world. This could be your purpose. Another purpose is you want to change how we think about this topic. This could be your purpose. And to find out your purpose is by, first of all, truly thinking about it, because most of you never really thought about this. So just thinking about your purpose will help. Then sitting in a quiet room and really just thinking about your purpose and writing everything that comes to your mind. Then on top of that, try different things. And if you like it, you will know that it's your purpose. If you don't like it, then try different things, then try more things. And last thing is, look back at your childhood. What did you like as a child? Did you like helping as a child? Then your purpose may be in that area of helping something. Do you like to explore? Then your purpose may be in that area as well. But don't fixate on your childhood. Fixate on what you like, fixate on what you find interesting, and then create a purpose around that. The next thing is what. And with what, I mean, what do you want to do with your life, and what do you want to achieve with your life? You probably never really thought about this. You don't know what you want to do with your life, right? You don't have specific goals in your life. So you need to create one. What do you want to achieve with your life? What do you want to do? What do you want to experience? And write down like a bucket list of things you want to do with your life. And then be specific as possible. The more specific, the better. And I tell you why exactly. I give you an example. Let's say you are a pilot and you're flying a plane. If you have no specific destination, you can fly for 10 hours and still be in the same country. But now if you have a specific destination, a specific thing at the horizon, you can fly towards that point and you can cross almost the whole world in 10 hours. So this is why you need to have specific goals. If you have just some shallow goals, you are the pilot who flies around his country in circles and never achieves his destination. But if you have specific goals, you're the pilot that flies straight towards his destination. So you need to have specific goals. And I'll give you an example. Let's say one of your goals is to make more money. This isn't a specific goal. So how to make it specific is you have literally a number with every digit as a goal. Or another goal is you want to travel. A specific goal is you want to travel this country, and in this country you want to travel this city, etc. That's a specific goal. And like I said, the more specific, the more or the higher the likelihood and the chance of you actually doing that stuff. So do or find out what you want to achieve in life and what you want to do with your life right now. Write down a bucket list and then stick it somewhere where you can see it always, every day. You can also do it as your home screen or your lock screen, whatever suits you best. Now the last thing is why. And with why, I mean, why do you want to change your life? Why do you want to experience small things with your life? Why do you want to change to a better future? Or why do you want to stay where you are? It's the same principle. You need to imagine in your head a scale. On one side is why you want to change, on the other side is why you want to stay where you are. And now, if your reason for one of those things is heavier, it will tip in one of each favor. So you need to make why you want to change heavier and better, so it tips in your favor, the scale tips in your favor. Because if not, you will be never able to make changes. You will be never able to appreciate small things in your life. Because deep inside of you, you have always a thing that drags you back, that drags you down again. So you need to make your answer stronger, why you want to change. And you do this by simply stacking multiple answers and making those answers deep. And with deep answers, I mean just simply asking why. Why is this your answer? I'll give you an example. One reason is you want to change so you can be more productive. So you ask yourself why? So you can have a better career. And then you ask why again. And if you do this with every answer that comes to your mind, you will have such a strong reason for changing that you will be able to change. The last thing is, how do we actually experience those small things, and how we can actually make them enjoyable? Simply, we need to fix your focus. Because right now, we all heard that our focus and our attention span is fucked because of scrolling, phone addiction, etc. So we need to actually fix that. And the reason is we need to become present. Because only if we become present, only if we can experience nature, a cat, meals, etc., then we can enjoy those small things while being present. And you can become present with one thing. It's easy, with meditation. And now if you have in your head, but meditation doesn't work. I tried it for a week and it didn't work for me, so this advice doesn't help me. Shut the fuck up, it works. How long have you tried it? If a fat guy goes to the gym and after 1 week he said the gym doesn't work, what would you say to him? You would say to him, stick to it for longer because it works. And meditation works the same. And I give you an extra tip. How does meditation actually work? Simple, like this. First, you focus on something. This could be your breath. This could be a point of your wall. This could be light. This could be sound. Or this could be a thought in your head. Then, the next step is you lose that focus. The third step is you realize you lost that focus. And the last step is you go back to that focus. Voila, you have 1 rep of meditation. Meditation isn't difficult, meditation is simple. And meditation isn't to have 0 thoughts in your head. No, meditation is you have a clustered mind, but you're able to go back to your focus. That's meditation, to go back to what you want to focus on. So you need to train meditation so you can experience those small things in life. The next thing is you need to actually do something. Go into nature, go on walks, go to a lake, go to a park, etc. so you can actually experience nature, so you can actually experience those small things. Those things doesn't take long. You can go on a walk for 10 minutes, 30 minutes. If you're 30 minutes a day, go on a walk and enjoy everything that comes around you. Maybe you see a bird, maybe you see a cat, maybe you see a beautiful tree or a beautiful flower. I don't care. Just something you can appreciate, and then focus on it, be present to it, and then enjoy the joyfulness, the happiness that comes from it. Then on top of that, talk to someone you like, and then be fully present. Be fully present for the first time in your fucking life. Be present when you talk to someone. Don't just grab your phone mid-conversation and then listen just half-assed, like most of the people. Be fully present. Just focus on what the other person said. Don't focus on what you want to say. Just focus and listen what the other person wants to say. And then you will be able to enjoy this conversation even more. Drink a nice cup of whatever you want and be fully present when you drink that. And then you will enjoy that feeling even more, and it will give you a small happiness boost. And this could also apply for eating. Most of you are fucking eating and also looking at their phone. So you need to put your phone away when you eat and focus on what you eat, and you will enjoy eating even more. And voila, if you stack all of those things on top, you will have a better life. Your life won't feel boring because you will enjoy all things around you. You will enjoy those small things, like drinking a nice cup of whatever, eating a nice meal, seeing something beautiful in nature. Everything together will make your day better than ever. So, to summarize, you need to fix your mental image. Like I said, you need to go from ignoring things to seeking out things you can appreciate. Then, you need to realize that small things also bring joy. Not only big things, but small things and big things combined make a great life. And this can literally make a dull and boring life to a special life, or a boring and dull day to a special day, an interesting day, a good day. Now, you need to stop bad habits. And you stop bad habits by stopping scrolling, reducing your screen time, and like I said, if you need help with that, click the first link in the description. If you need to find your direction, purpose, what and why. And lastly, experience it. Fix your focus. This is, if you just take one thing from this video, is fix your focus and be present. If you just do this one thing, I will guarantee you will enjoy more small things in life, and your life will feel better because you're able to be present. Just that one thing. Fix your focus. If you just ignore everything and just focus on that, your life will change. And then experience something. Go outside. Seek those small things out and appreciate them without being disturbed by your phone. Right, on that note, like I said, self-plug. Click the first link in the description. Like I said, if you want help with basically everything I talked about right now and have a guided way, click the first link in the description. And on that note, have a great day, sleep well, and I see you in the next one. Goodbye.